Do you remember when the New York Jets hired Robert Saleh and he came off like this very respected, credible head coach that had a strong blueprint for both sides of the ball? He could break down X's and O's. He had a vision, and you felt ridiculously comfortable with the team going forward. Well, you feel like, you know what? This team is in good hands. He's a CEO-type coach that has a firm grip of what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. You fast forward to today, and the more this head coach talks, the more concerning it is on two levels. Either A, he's completely overwhelmed in over his head, and he doesn't know which way is right and which way is left, or B, he's becoming a puppet for the organization, and they're telling him what to do and what to say, and he can't even explain it because he doesn't believe in it. So today, the New York Jets announced, you guys know by now, the New York Jets announced Joe Flacco as the starting quarterback on Sunday, and there's so many reasons why this is just dumb and stupid and embarrassing. But let's start at the beginning. When the New York Jets drafted Zach Wilson, we all said this team needs a veteran quarterback to back up the rookie, to be a mentor, to help him out. The Jets said, no. We're very confident in our quarterback room. We know what we have, and we're going to show you. Meanwhile, they tried to court Joe Flacco, and he didn't want to come here. So they realized they had a need, but the only quarterback they wanted was Joe Flacco. So Joe Douglas must think that Joe Flacco is the best quarterback to ever play the game, but I don't know why, but it's insane. That was the only quarterback they wanted. So their stubbornness and arrogance said, okay, you know what? They tried to lowball him or whatever happened. He went to Philadelphia instead. So they said, okay, you know what? We're going to stick with what we have, which almost is like discounting the impact of the quarterback room. That is just ridiculous. So fast forward to now, Zach Wilson comes out. He struggles. He looked like the game was moving too fast for him. Looked like he was completely overwhelmed. You know, you had Mike LaFleur on the field, but he wanted to be up in the booth. He had no support in the sidelines, and it was probably a time where, you know what, if you had a veteran quarterback you trust, you would have taken Zach Wilson out. He's throwing 4 interceptions, you take him out. He looks like he can't make a fundamental basic throw, you take him out because you have a comparable quarterback you feel comfortable with that could play for him. So Zach Wilson gets hurt, and the Jets go out and trade for Joe Flacco. So now they give draft compensation for a guy that we all know does not want to be here. Why would a veteran quarterback at the tail end of his career want to go to a losing team that's going absolutely nowhere? And you know that when you do play, you're going to get your ass beat behind a bad offensive line, and you're probably going to get just laughed off the field by the media and the fans. Flacco doesn't want to be here, but they trade for him anyway. But when they trade for him, he's not vaccinated, so he couldn't even play anyway. So you traded for a guy that you couldn't even use. So now you had to go to your backup quarterbacks anyway. So lo and behold, they go play Mike White, and Mike White struck gold. Because what happened was he actually played well. He played well enough where the team rallied around him. The team bought in. He became an emotional leader for the team. It was a feel-good story where this head coach talk about, you got to earn your reps, you got to earn your spot, you got to earn all these things. So what did Mike White do? He went out and he earned it. He played well against the Patriots. He backed up with a very good performance at the Bengals, a historic game. He came out against the Colts, threw a touchdown pass and got hurt, unfortunately, which is disappointing. But Josh Johnson comes in and throws for 300 yards. So if you're talking about credibility, earning your spot, doing everything else, Mike White earned it and Josh Johnson earned it. So then you play the Buffalo Bills, and it didn't go well. Buffalo is one of the best teams in the AFC, the best defense in the AFC. And then, Mike White struggled, but in the second quarter, he was driving, had the team going in the right direction. Corey Davis fumbled. The defense falls apart. The defense falls apart in the third quarter, and then they get blown out. He didn't play well. He should have been taken out of the game, but the Jets mishandled that as well. But he was still a guy that's like, all right, you played one of the best defenses in football. You didn't play well, but that's the way it is. But keep in mind, after the Bengal game, what the Jets did was they patted themselves on the back. We told you what we had in Mike White. We told you he was good. We told you he's a starting quarterback. We told you Josh Johnson was good. The Jets sat and told us how great everything was, how solid this room was, how awesome everything is. Then the Buffalo Bills whipped their ass, more on defense than offense, and then the Jets panic. And you know why they panic? Because they hate bad headlines. Because the defense is getting blown out week in and week out. The fans don't want to go to games. And Woody Johnson sat back and said, why is my stadium half full of Buffalo Bills fans? I don't like that. Somebody put a Band-Aid on my sinking ship. Something has to change. So the Jets do what? They panic and they say, you know what? Now, I'll give him credit for this. Zach Wilson, if he's not 100% ready, should not be rushed back. You don't want a kid that his game is mobility and athleticism, be hindered by his knee, and then lose confidence about his ability to run, playing behind this offensive line and getting hurt. So not rushing Zach Wilson back is a smart move. So now what they did was they bypassed Mike White. They bypassed Josh Johnson, both guys who have put the blood, sweat, and tears into this team this year, and they go to Joe Flacco. What an absolute kick in the face to Mike White. It's embarrassing. So why is that? So he struggled against the Buffalo Bills. So you're scared he may struggle against the Miami Dolphins. So you have a defeatist attitude. If anything, that's an indictment on your coaching staff. That you're scared that you can't script up a game or come up with a game plan where he can be successful. Why not let him start, give him a chance, and if he fails, have a quick leash and take him out? Why not that? And if that's what you say, you know what, I need a veteran that's seen something, then why not give Josh Johnson a chance? He's earned it. Oh, I know why. Because you don't want to have 4 quarterbacks active on the roster. Because you made a trade that you shouldn't have made, and now you're stuck with the guy, and now you're trying to justify it. You're playing him to justify your trade. Like, oh, this is what we want. So now in terms of credibility, respect, and earning your spot in the team, that's all blown right past the window. Because it's it. And listen, I'm not saying Mike White's a savior. I'm not saying anything. But he's shown us something. So give him a chance to show one more time. Because at the end of the day, Joe Flacco's not going to be here next year. But if you want a backup quarterback that could be here, maybe it is Mike White. Maybe he gives you something more than you see. He's at least deserved the chance. I'm not saying I don't know what he is. But I'm curious about it. He's earned it. So now all of a sudden the Jets try to act like it's important to win games. If it was so important to win games, you would have handled this roster so much differently over the past 4 weeks. You wouldn't have kept trotting out Greg Van Roten. You would have pulled Zach Wilson much sooner. They're being hypocritical here. And it doesn't make any sense. So now what they're going to try to do, they're going to try to salvage themselves, try to save themselves embarrassment by playing Joe Flacco, a quarterback that doesn't want to be here and doesn't give 2 shits about the team, doesn't even want to play probably, on Sunday against the Dolphins. And do what? So now their vision is, well, he can maybe open up the offense, do this, whatever else. You're going to have a guy that can't move behind an offensive line that can't block. And then what? Like, it's just, this doesn't make any sense. And then does anybody want to see Joe Flacco play? Do you think this locker room actually is going to rally around him and want to play for him? Seriously? Like, this game, it doesn't make any sense to me. Nothing. This move, it just reeks of just desperation. So, okay, now they're going to say, you know, he's the most veteran, most experienced guy. Okay, great. But how is this going to help you for this whole season is about rebuilding. It's never been about wins and losses. The problem for the Jets is their losses have been so bad that everybody's panicking because now they feel the heat. Joe Douglas feels the heat and Robert Saleh feels the heat. So now they're melting. They're caving in the pressure, saying, you know what, we got to play Joe Flacco because he's the best chance to win and just so we can save ourselves some more embarrassment. You know how you save yourself from more embarrassment? You coach better. You get better effort from your defense. You get better effort from all your players. So this is, I mean, whatever. This Jets, I'm not surprised they did this. This is the same old Jets nonsense. So if you want to see what Flacco can do in this offense, great. So you play him for 1 week, and the minute Zach Wilson comes back, then you play him. But to me, I think this is a complete disrespect to Josh Johnson and Mike White. The Jets have handled this whole situation just half-assed and backwards, and it's just, I'm over it, man. Same old Jets, and it's just the whole trust the process. It is impossible to trust the judgment of this head coach and this general manager because they talk, when they say one thing, they contradict it. Like, their actions don't match their words, ever. And the problem they have is that all their press conferences are sitting there on YouTube. So you can go back and say, well, didn't you say this? I mean, you just praised Mike White 2 days ago, and now you don't want to play him. Like, the locker room's got to be like, what are you doing here? Like, it's just no rhyme or reason, no leadership, no direction, no accountability. They are swimming in over their heads right now. So it is what it is. We'll be live Friday night at 8 o'clock and whatever.